Hey guys, welcome to a new review. This time I'm reviewing a Series 7 Gareth figure from The Walking Dead. Now, I wouldn't normally review this guy because, I don't know, he's just not much, but I got him at GameStop for a good price, $4.97, and then with my GameStop card that was like $4.80. Yeah, I couldn't help it. Well, let's go over the package real quick. It's got his name on the front here, 13 plus. So your little 5-year-old doesn't play with zombie figures, I suppose. Here's the entire lineup. I did a review of this guy right here. I have him right here. Check it out. It was my first review, so the quality's not as good as this one because I have a different camera now. Anyway, let's crack this thing open before I get bored. Okie doke. And here is the figure in package here. It's got this black and white chunk of meat there with blood on it. Doesn't really seem to fit with him. It seems like the black and white series figures that they had in a 3-pack previously. Anyway, let me rip him out of the package. He has a rubber elastic piece here holding him in. Very hard to get off. And here is the figure. So as you can see right off the bat, he is a very plain looking figure. Like most of the figures, let's go over. This guy, he's got a distinctness to him, whereas Gareth here is just a regular guy. Nothing all that amazing, but he's good for customs. I've seen many people use customs, make customs using him. I made a custom Lee figure using his body, so yeah. I think he's a lot better for customs than he is for the figure himself. Let's go over his accessories. First, let me pull them out. He comes with candles, which I think is kind of a waste of plastic because it's just a candle accessory. I can't imagine many kids or adult collectors wanting to display Gareth with 2 candles. Well, I'm not even going to bother taking them out because they are solidly in there, except for, yeah, this one's not as much. The little one is really stuck in there. Yeah. So here's the candle, the big candle that it comes with. It's got a little bit of shiny plastic in the middle. I guess that makes it look like it was melty. And it's got like a wood base. It's really very plain. Yeah, that's that piece. Next piece he has is an unneeded, large-sized piece of some debris of human parts. Like here you can see a human skeleton that's upside down. It's got an eyeball still in there. Now these look like sort of like they've been burned because I can't imagine why they're black and white. They've got a little bit of blue in there as well. Yeah, but there's also blood on it, so if they were burned, why is there such fresh blood? That would be all cooked away. That's hollow underneath. Yeah, this is not a very good accessory. If he came with like fresher looking human parts, I could understand that a lot better. Having him like standing in front of pieces of old black and white parts, it doesn't seem like it should have come with him. And his next accessory here is a Beretta. Very nice. It's got good detail, nice sculpt. Little textures on the handle. It looks like a realistic gun. Yeah. It's a nice pistol. One of the nicer ones we've gotten so far. And fits in his hand pretty well, I suppose. He doesn't have a trigger finger, so you'd have to like cut a trigger finger in yourself. His hands are kind of tight on this one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he holds it here, but as you can see, no trigger finger. And he has this holster here, but you can't really use it because it's kind of closed up, so at most you can like just stick the barrel in there. It doesn't really go in. I wouldn't suggest using it for that. And let's go over the face sculpt and paint. Now, it kind of resembles the actor. I can see that. It's not a very great resemblance. But yeah, very plain, dull expression on his face. It looks like he's just staring blankly at something. If he had sort of a sly smile or something, I could understand that. But he doesn't really have that. He has maybe what you might consider a smirk of some sort, but nah. I'm not seeing much expression here. And the paint is okay. I think his eyes are a little wonky. Not like extremely, just one's a little smaller than the other. Yeah. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow painted on and then also a little sculpted. Yeah. And he's got that weird Justin Bieber hair that's going off to the side. Now let's go over the body sculpt and paint. The body is fairly nice. It has sculpt that makes it take away from sort of some of the articulation, but not as bad as like the new Dale's arms, as you can see there. So like, yeah, this is the most that Dale can bend his arm, and here's the most that he can bend his arm. So he can bend his arm pretty well, just not very well. The body sculpt is very nice. It's got good paint on it. His brown pants here have a nice black wash over it that goes into the creases. Yeah. And then his shirt also has that, but it's a little darker. Really dug in there. Yeah. So let's go over the articulation now. He can do really good splits. He never did it in the show, but I would like if they add it in the show and like special feature, just so that I could do that with my figure and it would make sense. I don't know. This leg is restricted from kicking up a little because of his holster. Not an extreme amount, but a little. And he can kick back. He can get pretty good knee bend. See that? Very nice. And then the other leg can kick up a little bit more, as you can see. Yeah. And it can get just about the same knee bend. And then there's like no articulation at the ankles. I would say absolutely none. He has a little bit of a spin at the waist. Tight head, but he does full rotation. Can look down a little and a little more. Yeah, I think he looks back up, a little more than he does down, maybe. Nah, you get him to look down a little more. Forget it. I'm not very good at that. I don't know. Anyway, his arm can do a full rotation. He can bend to close to a 90-degree angle, which isn't bad, but it feels like if they just eliminated some of this arm piece here, like there's this extra plastic that shouldn't be there, then he could get a lot better articulation right there. Yeah, and his arm moves up and down pretty, not very much. Not like a right angle or anything. And at his articulation for the wrist, his ball joint that's there, I guess, you kind of have to spin around to get in different positions. So he can do the scratch at the wall, and he can do the dice roll. It's just very hard and tricky to do. And of course, his sleeves do hinder the articulation a bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for articulation. That's gone forever. Anyway, he is a very bland figure. It would have been nice if instead of the candle pieces, he came with something a little more, I don't know, cool. Another machine gun. Even though he couldn't hold it very well, it would have been better. I could toss in my arsenal here. But I don't know. It's they're kind of cheap over at McFarlane every now and then. Yeah, I really, when they announced that this figure was coming out, I was like, why? The character had such a small role in the show. He wasn't a very memorable bad guy. Like, the governor, he was a big deal. This guy, he was like that schmo that they had to add in there to give them an enemy. Not that I enjoyed his death, but as a character that was still alive, he was rather boring. He was a creep, but not a likable bad guy or sympathetic or even just one of those bad guys who are full on evil and cool because of it. But he was just a cannibalistic creep and didn't deserve a figure because of that. There were many characters on the show that should have gotten a figure before this guy. You know, Justin Bieber in his 30s. But I don't know. What are you going to do? Can't go back in time and kill McFarlane before you did this and then take over the group and pretend you're Todd McFarlane, I suppose, and be in charge of... I don't know. It's pretty much impossible. But let's do a side-by-side with a cool figure here. Here's a figure with style and class. Here's a figure that's just... I'm sorry, sir. I'm not as good as you. I bow to you. That's not how it happened in the show, so I don't have to actually say spoiler alert for that, but if a couple of minutes of back, probably spoiler alert. I don't know. Yeah, I hope you liked the review. If you didn't, what am I going to do about it? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you did like the review, please comment, share, and subscribe, but comment something nice so that I can know that you actually liked it and didn't just click like on accident or, you know, just whatever you want. I don't know. I'm not your boss. Okay, see you guys in the next episode. Bye.